Hello everyone, this is Debbie from Ink and Page, and I'm here today with the brand new Librarian's Lantern video. On Monday we put together our mini book, and today we are going to embellish it. So, if you are interested in joining in on this project, you can just head down to the description, find the link, sign up, and I will send you what you need. Otherwise, I guess we're just going to hop right into decorating. So, for my cover, I pulled out a few things. Some brown paper, this just scrap of kind of ledger paper right here, some lace, and then I pulled this bookcase out as well. I don't really actually have my ephemera in like any sort of logical piles. I just sort of tried to lay it out. Like, these are my larger pockets here, and my bigger pieces that I'm gonna put in here, and then basically I just kind of tried to sort everything out. So there's no logic to that. So I thought I would put the bookcase in the cover with maybe some cheesecloth behind it, and then go on top of that with a bunch more layers. So I think, okay, so I'm on the fence here about this. I'm going to glue this back to back. I am not sure if it's going to make a difference when I'm done. I thought about putting a brad through here so you could, so this could move, but it's going to depend on how this goes together. It'd be great if I had a secret message or something to put under it, but I did not think of that until right now. So I suppose I could make one up, but I think I'm going to start with putting something behind this here, behind my bookcase, and then I'm just taking a quick look at my little fabric container here just to see what I can pull out to use for a background, because I'd like to have like a piece of like this tea-dyed muslin here. So I'm thinking of making, let's see here, might end up being exactly the size that I need. So I got a piece of this stuff, and I'm just gonna kind of cut it. This has like a woven edge that I do not enjoy, so I'm just gonna chop that off. And I'm sure I can use it for something else. I just don't like, it's like a different texture than the rest of the muslin, so I don't wanna, I would prefer to use it separately. And that is me just being picky, so. Okay, there's that. Okay, so let's take a quick look at this. I've got a lot of stuff to put in this book, so see how I can do this here. But I did want to get started on the cover, I think, first, and then go from there. I kind of like how the edge of that looks. I wonder, I could maybe glue it on here a little bit scrunched underneath it so that I can retain this like kind of, so it's kind of like a bent, kind of like that. It looks like old and, crunched up, like it's been around for a while. We can kind of maybe think of our little book as our librarian's like manual, or like her record keeping, or whichever. Okay, let's pull these. Okay. All right, so I think I'm going to try to like get this on in a scrunched up fashion. Okay, let's see here. I was going to grab, I think, some Fabri-Tac for this, for my scrunched up plan, because, oops, it functions kind of a little bit more like hot glue than like normal glue does. So if I want this to kind of be bunched up under here, oh, here's my, yeah, All right, let's do it like that, okay? So I'm going to put some glue right here. And then I'm just going to kind of bunch it up a little bit. Because I still want my title visible, you know, on the side there. Although this one we could probably also put one on the spine, but the spine is so pretty, I don't know if I could cover it up. Okay, so let's go on this side. I might need to, oh, do I need to use clips? I can't sit here and hold it, so let's see here. If I have to, I'll fast forward the glue holding. Hopefully I won't have to. So I'm just going to put a bunch of glue down. Maybe I put too much glue. And then I'm just going to try to get that to bunch up a little bit so that we can have a like spooky looking situation here. And then other things are going to be glued on top of this. The nice thing is if you put fabric on here like this, it leaves you the option to pin things, which I always find to be like a pretty fun route to go down because it's so easy. It's not even hard. You could pop a charm or a bead on a pin and just pin it right on here, and then you have a little bit of extra embellishment, and it didn't really take that long, and it wasn't complicated, you know? So you could do it like a bunch of times over and over. I'm gonna go around to this one here. Okay, I'm probably gonna have to do another one, but I'll just put a tiny dab here so that it kind of stays down and away from the title. Okay, there we go. All right, so that should do that. Now I'm going to see how my bookcase looks on top of this here. Ooh, I don't think, I thought I inked everything, but it looks like I missed this one. You can kind of see that white edge, you know. I had fun cutting this stuff out because it's a little, I love the bookcases, let's just put it like that. I just had such a good time because I love how big they are too, because like, I don't know, sometimes ephemera, a lot of times, like I do like small ephemera, like I love, because when you're embellishing, it's sometimes better to have small things, right? But I really love having this big bookcase. Okay. My only worry here is that, well, I think it'll be okay. I think I'm just worried that I should have glued down that middle, but I think the other stuff on here is going to make it just fine. All right, so I'm going to use normal, like PVA glue. This is Nuvo Deluxe. Okay, put that on there. I'm going to open this book so it's flat here. So that, put that back on there. then we can just kind of pull our threads and stuff around this to make it look kind of tatty. Okay, now I was thinking I would layer a bunch of other stuff on here too. Just like lots of layers, and then the lantern on top of everything else here. So I'm just gonna, I have to decide what it's gonna look the best on. I think the lace has to be the, you know, base layer here. And then I can work everything else around that. I know I put the bookcase on there, now I'm covering it up, but I feel like it kind of needed to be there for the layer situation. I'm gonna rip this up a little bit. Oh, I have a book page too. To put on here so that we have some words if we need them. And such. Alright, so let's ink this guy here. I kind of want kind of a stacked look on here. So that's what I'm kind of like looking for, more layers of different things. I also have like, you know, tags and ephemera that were from the kit that we can incorporate in here too. Okay, so I got that. I got this here. I think this one is stamped. I might rough the, or stamped, what do you call it? Inked. But I think it'd be better if it was more destroyed, if that makes sense. So it kind of looks like it's had better days. So I'm really gonna go after the edges here. I think I might try, instead of using, you get some nice dark edges by just using the ink pad. I hope this is not an unapproved use of ink pads, but I thought I could get a nice dark edge on there, and then I can just come around here and mess it up a little bit. And this can be one of my layers. Ooh, it almost looks like it's burnt, which is crazy because this is a vintage photo. It's not even like scorched timber. Okay, so I have this piece, I have this piece, I have this piece. I don't know if I need to make this tag smaller. Oh wait, this is the piece I had, right? Actually, I like this one better, figures, because I didn't make it. Okay. Alright, so I got that there. Alright, so this one I think is going to go behind here. What if we took, I need my like little sharp scissors here. I'm gonna do like a little, there we go. Like a, I was gonna say a divot, like a tear almost in the tag. And then that will give it just like, just a tiny bit more visual interest, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna pull that away from there a little bit with the tweezers so it's like more obvious. We could also do it again down here. Just be careful if you're gonna do this because it's easy to It's easy to do this when you're not intending to, but when you're intending to, it's a little bit more of a mess. I'm just going to tear that up a little, ink that over. Okay, so now we've got 2 notches cut out of that. Okay, and then let's get some words in there too. This paper is also probably not dark enough. All right, I had the misfortune of cleaning off my desk today, so I have like very few pieces of scrap paper hanging out right now. Okay, so I'm going to grab this. I want to ink this over. Move that up. Just so this is also kind of tea-dyed. Okay, so I have this one here that's got, it's a little bit darker now. And okay, I'm going to grab this here and I'm going to do a little bit of tearing here just to grab some of this paper. So I'm just going to take off the margins here. And then I'll add this into my stack. And then hopefully then I will have enough. And I can move on to the next thing. But you know, your cover is your cover, right? So you kind of want to make sure you get that right. Okay, here we go. Alright. Those ones go into the scraps. Okay, let's see what we want here. Probably not too big of one. See how this looks in here. Probably going behind that with this. I might need to make this a little smaller. Okay, so here's what I'm probably gonna do. I did make this a little bit too big, so I'm just gonna kind of whittle it down a little bit so that my pieces are a little bit smaller. Okay, after all, I made all this like, super big ephemera. I'm just going to take a little bit off my tag, too. I don't want to really take any off that side because it's got the tear in it. So let's see if I can get away with this. It is going to look a little bit lopsided, but hopefully you won't notice because it's in the... Oh, you know what? Well, we do have to take some off the bottom. And I didn't rip it very straight. Okay. Okay, that's much better size-wise, I think. And my lantern. So I think I might just leave this one lantern because I don't think I'm going to make it movable. Yeah, I'm not going to... I thought about, oh, maybe I should, but you know what? I want to put something like some... more like cheesecloth or something behind this, so I don't want to add I don't want to make that movable. I just need to grab something out of my little bin here. Okay, so oh, you know what, I need to probably cut this in half because it's not very wide. so I'm going to pull this side out a little bit. Okay, I definitely need something bigger. Okay, all right, so I'm going to do the same thing, I think, that I did before, and kind of like wrinkle this to the back of it. I kind of like the way that looks, and then it gives it kind of more of an uneven finish on the front. So it's like not laying like super flat, right? Okay, I certainly did make a chubby cover here, so oh wait, all these other ones aren't glued down yet. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. All right, so I'm going to start with a little bit of this on here for the lace. I'm just going kind of like on a bigger square than I normally would because it's kind of hard to, you know, exactly hit the lace perfectly. Okay, so I want to put these on kind of like this. I figure pressing all this stuff down on top of it will help too. This here. All right. Can I still move this? I'm gonna move this over just a little bit. I'm starting to feel a little bit Halloween, which is, maybe I do feel a little bit Halloween all the time, but I think I feel extra Halloween. I just like, I don't know why I'm getting I don't feel fall because it's like a bajillion degrees here in California, but I am starting to feel like, you know, the Halloween crafty bug hitting me, which definitely probably shows up a little bit in this kit. Not a lot, because it's not too spooky. It's not spooky or anything, but it does have like one of my favorite like kind of dark academia like color palettes and all that. Okay, so I got all that on here. I am going to glue down this little top part here. And I'm not going to have a mechanism on the top of here. I thought about it, but I don't think I'm going to have it on this one. All right, so I'm just going to, oh, that's not great for my fingers. Let's try this one. There we go. Can I get that to go? I might need to get a paper clip for this part. Okay, so just a little bit of glue down there. I'm going to see if I have a paper clip that will go. Oh, I do have my big ones. Okay. I'm going to take that off. And I'll just put 2 paper clips on the cover. It feels so heavy. Okay, there we go with that one. Here we go with this one. Okay. All right. So that's good. So my cover is at least partially done. I might want to add a little bit more to the cover. I'm not sure. You know, maybe something like, I don't know. Is that too big? Is that too big? It could be too big. Okay. Well, we'll just keep that on the bubble. Oh, I do have this though. I can't wait till you guys see what next week's theme is going to be. I'm thinking about, like, I loved doing these and having so much fun with them so much that I might make them into like real actual kits. So we can like make big journals out of them. So yeah, if you do, well, actually, no, wait, if you do like that idea, let me know. And then next week, I will ask you guys which theme that you would most like to see as a kit, you know. Okay. All right, so I'm going to think about this option for here. And let's talk about what we're going to do on the inside of this journal. Okay, so I'm definitely thinking belly band for right here. So I'm just going to tuck that in there for right now because I don't want to disturb my front and what's going on there. And then I can start to think about, okay, so I kind of know, I feel like this might be a good entry into the book. Okay, wait 1 second here. All right. I just want to make sure I put the lid on the glue, but I don't see the lid, so that is a bummer. Okay, it will show up. Okay, so here we go. So let's go with, I think I'm going to go with this pocket right here on the front. I feel like it's perfect for that. And then I think I might go through, we'll see what happens. I can never tell you for sure what I'm going to do because I was thinking about going through and kind of like adding in the pockets and then going back through again, but sometimes I get distracted, so we'll see what happens. I don't know if you guys, when you decorate, if you decorate in a linear way, like decorate this page, move on to the next page, or if you're like sprinkling it through. I'll tell you, when I am making kits, I am sprinkling, like, because I work in Photoshop, so I work on an artboard, so I have all of the journal pages in front of me at one time so that I can move things between the pages, you know, make sure all the pages look like a cohesive whole, stuff like that. So that's really trained me to be like a kind of a jumper arounder when it comes to doing these types of things. Like, you know, I'll say, oh, okay, this looks good here. You know, do I like this here? Do I want to cut this corner off of this? Or cut this one off here. Like if I want to make a pocket out of this, I could just square it off, you know, by cutting what's on the back of it. So that is potential for right there. I'm pretty sure I know what I want to do. I'm going to do it here. Yeah, here. Okay, so I'm going to fold my moth in half, like as best as I can. It should be pretty close to the middle. Okay, I already inked it and everything. And I think I'm going to put my moth on my page like this. But I think I'm going to leave it so I'm only gluing the bottom part of it. And then the top part of it will still be open and like available if I want to like put like oh, I forgot. I still have to get, I don't even pull out the, you know, if I want to do that situation. Although this would probably be best in this pocket right now. Yeah, so if I want to tuck something in there, I can still do that. Although I just think this is a nice opener for the signature. And then it just will go over onto the next page. I considered cutting it, but since there's like a moth page there, I could cut it and put the other half on this side. Would that look weird though? If there was the moth was like, I could do it like that. Maybe I will do it like that instead of over the edge of the page. I like to change my mind, so let's put that on there. So we can do it like this, or I can do it like this. I have to be honest, I like it. I think I like the non-traditional option here of doing it split, so it looks like 2 moths instead of 1. I did not glue this into my front. Oh no. Okay, well, I guess that's a sign. I'll just use it over here. Okay, so I'm totally changing my plan. So heads up on that one. Is what I'm going to do here is hope I have a glue stick right here on my desk, which I think I do. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to take the back of this. I'm going to do just like a little bit of like mini collage on these 2 pages. So, you know, I'd asked you guys a bunch of like questions so that I would have like questions to answer during my videos, and like I've been mostly doing it, you know, during my Bramblewood Blooms videos, but I mean I don't see there's any reason I shouldn't bring them up here as well. But somebody had asked on one of the things about embellishing pages and how to know what to put on pages, and how they always end up putting a pocket and a tag, right? Because that's like, you know, it's pretty straightforward, and it is like most kits come with those things in them, so you have them available to you. But you know, you could also do stuff like this where you're just collaging stuff down. You don't, it doesn't have to be like an element that is removable. You can just decorate the page by doing like a little cluster on it, and then just go to the next one. I like the idea of having the, you know, collage on the page. I did some really fun ones, I think, during, I don't even know if that's going to show up actually. I did some really fun ones during Junk Journal July, where we did like some vertical ones with like thin strips of, oops, this is not inked, thin strips of like leftover papers, you know. And I think that, you know, it just helps decorate the page a little bit. And I feel like, you know, some people will do like a tiny little like 3 thing collage on the corner, but go for it, you know, put some big stuff on there too. You know, if you're not trying to leave room for people to write, of course. I think it just adds a little extra something to your journal. And I like to collage these with like all different types of paper. You know, this brown paper is probably one of my favorites. I love that it's like got kind of a texture to it. This is like the brown paper, it's not the tissue paper. I also really love the tissue paper. Yeah, it has a little bit of a texture to it. This isn't transparent like the tissue paper, you can totally see through. just going to add ink around these. And you can add ink or not add ink. Sometimes, you know, I just put the paper down. Oh, and you know what we could do too? Oops, that needs a little bit more glue on it. I did find this washi tape. I'm on the never-ending quest, or the continuing quest of trying to organize my craft room. I'm always trying to organize it in a way that like suits the videos, you know, because like I want to be able to have everything at kind of my beck and call, so that, you know, it's easy to grab when I'm doing a video, and also easy to put away when I'm done, because that's my biggest problem, is putting stuff away. It's not fun, so I don't love doing it. All right, so we're gonna see just a tiny bit of that. I'm wondering if I can put a tiny bit of this down too, or if I should look for something else. I do have a little bit of lace. I have a little bit of this kind of red, which I was hoping would pick up the, it's more burgundy in the kit. That's green. I thought I had a dark blue one. I don't know how this is going to end up looking when it comes to the, it actually gets down, you know, because you know how it looks different on the roll than it is in real life. But hopefully this will. I'm not sure if I like it with this. That's the nice thing about washi tape, is it comes back off. I'm wondering if I use it like just very slightly over here. Let me think about that. I want to put that there. I just need something else too, but I'll find something. Oops. I think I'm going to glue that onto this. Oops, I got to get it up a little higher. And that'll go on there like that. Okay, do I need more? I know you guys said in the comments that you answer me when I ask these questions, so at least there's that. I did have this like really, I love this stuff. It's like this very thin kind of, I think it might be crocheted lace that I kind of wanted to use on this spread. Although I'm kind of working between signatures right now, which is interesting. I'm going to try this on here. So I'll just let that hang out for a minute, and then I'll trim it when I'm done here. Okay, so I need probably some of, let's see here. Okay, so this is some of that tissue tape. And it does have a little bit of this burgundy on it, so I'm going to give this a try on here. See how that looks. Okay. Okay, I have this little piece that got, that's extra, so we'll just use that down here. Put a little bit of this same washi tape on the other side too. We're creating kind of a lopsided mirror by like using the same elements just in different places. Okay, so I have like a big old piece of this tape. Let's go ahead and put some of it here. Share that. Some of it on here too. Okay. I just want a little bit more down here. Uh-oh. I just pulled that up. Okay, what else do I need, you guys? Do I need a little bit more of this? I like it when the ink kind of runs a little bit in, you know, when you have you've inked the edge of something and then the ink kind of runs on it. I just kind of, sometimes it frustrates me, but I love how it worked out on that one. I'm just looking through my little, I have like all the scraps, I mean all the little pieces and stuff from this whole project right here. Alright, I'm gonna go. Okay, I promise I'll wrap this one up in a second. I just want to get enough stuff down. I know I haven't whipped out the stamps yet. I don't know if like I want to make this like a 90-hour video. I was worried that I was going to need like 5 videos to decorate this one, I have to admit. I'm having like the best time though, because like I'm getting to do this, plus then I also get to do the Bramblewood Blooms videos. So it's like I'm getting to do like double the decorating every week, which I just love. Okay, so I'm going to put this under here. And then I have to find like a little charm or some such thing. All right, I think I'm going to just glue stick this whole thing and see how it works, so I don't get this thing too wet with wet glue. Alright, so there's Just want to find my edge here for sure. Down a little bit. I completely abandoned my pocket idea as well, but that's okay. I like this idea better, actually. Plus, I got to do some of my favorite stuff on here, so no complaints. Okay, I'm going to try to get these kind of lined up. Like, how many pages have I glued together? Okay, so, let's see, I'm just going to grab my thread bin here. Okay, I think this guy needs like a matching thread situation over here. Let's see if that's... I'm playing with fire right now. I still feel like I need one more thing for this, but I'm going to, let's see. Okay. Did I put... No, I didn't. This. I might have to raid my ephemera stash for a tiny piece of ephemera for over there. I do have the library card though, so I could definitely use this over here. It definitely matches okay. Oh, wait. Okay, I have one ink bottle in the front, but I think there might be another one. All right, so I have to come back to that. I just wanted to like keep moving a little bit just so that we can have some of this done, you know, like that I didn't take like... Okay, so what if we... Would this be... Should we use this as a pocket? Okay, I definitely have this one here. You would have been cool is if we had like bound one of these bookcases in here. Alright, so I'm trying to... Oh. This could be a tuck spot on the back. Or this could be the tuck spot on the back. I also have like a little guy that could be... I figured a lot of these bigger pieces of ephemera could just end up being tuck spots, you know. This would be like a good... This would be a good middle one, huh? This one might be good for right here. So if we just glued it down at the base, and then, you know, things could just go in behind it. I'm going to use the super adhering glue that you can't have any regrets with this glue because it doesn't come back up. Like sometimes you can like get the glue stick to come back up slightly. Okay, I'm just gonna grab a small little clip there for that. I might need two actually. Oops. Oh, okay, and you know what? I totally am ignoring are all the journal cards that came with this. So I've got to start paying attention to those too. And then we have all these little mini tags as well. Okay, so I'm going to let that chill right there. And then let's see. What do I want to use out of these? I definitely want to use this. This one maybe? Let's see. I kind of like the idea of the butterfly with this. So this, you could put this in as removable ephemera, or you could just glue this whole thing down. Oh, yeah, let's do... Okay, I'm going to go for tuck spot, I think, on this one. For this guy here. And it'll, like, go nicely. This will be, like, our little kind of moth-themed signature here. Alright, so I want this to go how? So I'm going to glue that side. Just down around here. Yeah, I totally like how that looks. This is kind of makes for an awkward pocket, which is kind of a bummer. Let me see here. Okay, so these are kind of like my pretend books. I didn't really have the time to make books for this like I would have liked, but I thought I could just include these book pages and they could be like our books for this, you know, like our books that the librarian is shining a light on. Have I given... Okay, so there's... If I put that there, I can probably actually glue this in now because these are probably way already all set. So just going to glue the top and the bottom of this. And then I will put this right in the middle. So right when you open it, you see the little stack of books here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, okay, my next plan is to incorporate the bigger cards in here. This feels appropriate for here. it's funny, as much as I always try to think ahead of time, like, okay, what ephemera would be good for this? What, you know, I don't always, like, hit the mark. Like, sometimes I find myself, oh, I wish I had more small ephemera, or I wish I had more big ephemera, you know? I guess that's why we have the ephemera stash, right? I can always rely on that to kind of fill in the gaps. Okay, so this is going to be a hard call for me. I did want to include a library. Actually, maybe this one. Okay, so I think I'm going to put this one on the back cover, actually. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to ink on the edge of this. Okay, now here is my plan. I'm going to glue words down, or book page down. Hopefully I have a piece that's going to work here. Okay, so I might, let's see, will this work? I don't know if I have to get another one or not. Okay, so I'm going to just try to rip this down to the same size as the card. I was debating on if I should just glue this down or not. I think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to glue the whole thing down so that it's like flat on here, which is only a bummer because I really like this like light blue background. I kind of like it a lot. Okay, so I'm going to glue this down, but I need to go get a whole other book page, and I can always put a pocket on top of it if I want to actually have a pocket on the back. Okay. All right, so I'm going to have this. Okay. so let's put that on there. Does that look okay? Yeah. There we go. Okay, now I'm definitely feeling, let's see here. Oh, I better put a lid on that before I stick my elbow in it, because that is exactly what will happen. Okay, so let's see what else here. I like this one with the books around that. Okay, so now these bigger pictures, they could just be like attached on here, like just like as is, if you like, or you can kind of like cut them up, tear them up, turn them into other things, if that's what you would prefer. Oh, was I gonna put this here? You guys, let's put it on this side like that. Okay, wait, I'm just gonna grab my tiny paper cutter so that we can trim it. Okay, because then I can make it like, oh, like, see, here's this tiny, okay, those probably fell off the front, didn't they? All right, so I'm just going to try to make this, okay, let's start with this here. I'm going to try to make the bottom of this flat, so I can use this as like, oh, I should be doing it this way, sorry. I'm going to do this, so then it'll be just like a corner tuck spot type situation. And that can go on the corner here. Okay, so I'm just going to do one side of this and the bottom. So the two areas where I cut. Okay, I'm going to take these clips off too, because I think that should be all set by now. Okay, one thing that I think did work out how I hoped it would are these little book pages. They've come in super handy throughout the whole entire thing. We can also put like a little lantern in our pocket too. I know I'm pushing my luck there with that. So I'll just go ahead and clip this. But I kind of like to get a look at what is it going to look like once I have all my stuff in, you know? Okay, I love this part. Okay, I think this is too big, but if I rip it, it won't be. This is what I mean by like kind of like going through and going back over stuff and just kind of adding things into it. I feel like it's like you know, the whole process of doing these spreads is a layering process, but it's also like a layering process as it goes through the entire, as you work through the entire journal, you know. Okay, so let me grab, I'm just grabbing a little piece of tape to put behind this. I don't know why I think it should be there. I just thought it should be there. I'm just gonna make it a little bit brown. Maybe it shouldn't be there. My fingers are very, very gluey. Okay. All right, so let's see if there's, what else do I want to do here? I kind of want to make this one a little bit smaller than it is. Let's see what happens when I do that. You could for sure make this into a tag if you wanted. Not sure if that's the place for this one. Huh. I know that kind of hides it, but I kind of like it. because it's kind of like, it's just the right place for it, you know? Okay, so we could put one piece of smaller ephemera in there too. I was kind of hoping for a fussy cut for this here. This one. Yeah, that's too much. Okay, I also have this one, which I love. Okay, so what if we... I think I used up all the brown paper that I pulled out, but as luck would have it, I have a paper bag, so we'll just use that. Oh, this one's already ripped. There were two of them in there. Okay, so now I'm just going to split this open. Okay, so this is what I'm thinking for this one is... Okay, wait. Where did I put... You guys, where did I put the flower? Okay, here it is. So if I use this to back the flower... Okay. You know what I didn't get, which I should have gotten, were the papers that came with the kit, because they would be super helpful right now. Okay, I went and found mine. Okay. Alright, let's rip this too. I'm starting to get worried about the time and the level of my desk messiness here. But I hope this at least gives me like a good idea of, you know, where to start basically on this. It gives you guys some ideas for decorating. I don't know if this is going to be too dark for this page. Perhaps it is too dark. Let me try a different one. Or I could try a book page, actually. Let's try that. And then I still have the other paper here if I need it. If I had the time, I would probably get a stencil and some paint and stuff like that. But because, you know, we only have a week for each book, which in retrospect may not have been my best plan, but I did think it would be fun to make like a quartet of books, you know. So for next month, I'll try to do it so that we have a little bit more time, you know, to do the decorating. All right, so I'm gonna put this on here. All right, I'm putting it on as like a page decoration. Here. And then we can make the flower here. Just give it a little bit of something something onto it. I'm going to use this because I'm trying to, you know, repeat some of my elements throughout. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this behind it. And then it still gives me, well, because this is a mini book, this is probably going to take up a lot of the page, huh? But that's okay. Because, like, either, you know, you can use it for writing, or you can journal through writing, and you can journal through decorating like this as well, right? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to put a little glue on the back of this here. Kind of like, this kind of does a little tiny bit of a curve, so it's following the same curve as the flower is. I'm going to add a little extra glue under here because I can feel the Fabri-Tac grabbing, so I don't think I'm going to need a ton of extra glue, but I think on this top and bottom part I am. I am just a little bit sad I didn't get to do any stamping, but alas, right? But there's still plenty of things left to be done in this book, so it's, you know, going to be like entertainment for, you know, weeks and months to come, especially if y'all are in the same hemisphere as me and we're heading into winter, so that will mean, you know, kind of like more indoor crafts, you know, and less outdoor activities. So even though California shows no signs of getting colder. Okay, so I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I am so sorry about my desk. I think we can probably clean it up a little bit. Here. Okay, so I just tucked this in here. I'm not sure if this is going to stay or not, but actually maybe I could tuck this in instead, huh? What do you think about? Oh, I love it. Okay, so that's going to be my last thing that I'm going to add to this for today. I will definitely keep working on it. I just realized I meant to post close-up pictures of all of these, and I haven't, so I will try to get on that this week. I've been so busy with all my videos and decorating that, like, I kind of forgot about it. Okay, so I will try to post close-ups of these for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you did a little bit of decorating right along with me, and that you have some of your pages at least done in this book here. And I still have lots of work to do, people. But, yeah, so I hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you guys. I think my next video is going to be Bramblewood Blooms. And it will probably be on Saturday. So, and then I'll see you guys Monday for a new one of these cute little mini books. So, thank you so much for joining me.